What better way to start part 4 of the Q&A with the only person with a bigger ego than me. So, what is up, guys? Hey guys, I get a lot of questions about my new book series coming out. Don't worry, there will be an estimated release date for those. But I just wanted to remember everybody that, much like this motherfucker, I am bigger than life. Remember, I'm 6 foot. So, just like me, it is time to dig into the best damn Q&A video series I've ever done. There's 2 of these in the world. Should have got the other one when I had the chance. They were both released in Indiana. Fun fact. Alright, let's dig into this. Miguel Yuki asked, what was your favorite format or formats throughout your career in Yu-Gi-Oh? I definitely have to give a shout out to Substitute.format. Fucking ridiculous ride. But it was fun, and for any format it was bullshit. There's been a lot of really questionable formats throughout the years that I've got the chance to participate in. But nothing was as fun as that time. Sir Klopp asked, where does your German blood come from? He also asked, what is one personal goal that you want to achieve in the near future? First off, Kohl means cabbage, evidently, in German. I'm not exactly sure what my ancestry tree is. I know we have some like journals or some shit passed down through my family. My current cluster of family is like relatively small. But I'm not exactly sure what my lineage is. I just know I got some German in me. God, being 28 years old and highly uneducated. Not real. And then one personal goal, we want that 100,000 subscribers. We'll get there though. Toy Rojas asked, how do you balance life in Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh is my life. Can't really balance what you don't have. I'm a simple person, alright? Wake up, do business, talk to friends, do Yu-Gi-Oh, do Vanguard, do Yu-Gi-Oh, do Vanguard, take a bath, watch anime, go to sleep. That is my life. You know, there is no underlying extra social that goes on. Trust me, it is all within the realm. You can't really balance what you don't have, but life is different from every other person, I feel. Star Galaxy 777 asked, what's theoretically better, getting the name of a card in its lowest rarity, MST, or just outright buying the highest rarity, like an ultimate? So, my first question I have to ask you is, do you have the money just to buy the ultimates? Because if you have money to just spend on these cards, you are always buying highest rarity. As long as the money you're spending doesn't detrimentally, hurt you in the long run, you're in a situation that you could afford these things. I personally feel it's fine to get highest rarity. Ghost MSTs look good though. I might consider those. They're a good close second. Sora Roxas asks, is there by any chance of you going on a diet? I love food too much, unfortunately. Trust me, I know. I always hear the, well, if you lose weight, you'll live longer. I understand this. I'm not totally gluttonous. I understand a lot of people watch out for me and things like that, and it's only good, genuine advice. That's fine. The point will come where I'll probably have to, but for that point in time, not anytime soon. The Romo with 2 zeros asked, in all seriousness, what is your opinion on 60-card pendulums? Cancer, creative, and also, would you ever play pendulums competitively? First off, I don't like the pendulum mechanic at all. So it's kind of something about that era that detoured me, playstyles. I understand it's cool to unload your hand mechanically, but it was just kind of something that detoured me from it. That's why I was happy Zoo came out. 60-card pendulums, it's cool as a concept because you can throw everything that you want to throw into the pile. And it'll, as long as it has synergy together, it's great. I wouldn't say it's cancerous. I'm just saying that a deck that can play more resources combined with itself to not hurt itself is absolutely amazing. That's the cool theory behind Jink piles of shit like that. As long as everything's mashed together and it kinetically works together, then that's fucking fantastic. That's innovation at its finest. I'd say that 60-card pendulums were the way to go. So, Justin Skyfe, S-C-A-I-F-E, asked, what card would you take off the ban list? Mirage a nightmare because I have 200 of those. but in all seriousness, probably Chaos Ember Dragon post errata. The card doesn't have any reason to continue to be locked up in the grand scheme of things. I know everybody's going to want me to say Stratos, but I mean, it's Stratos. It's not going to do anything either way. May as well just get back Chaos Emperor Dragon so I can be happy. Rafael Castillo asked, I don't have a question, just a shout-out. Other than the ugly-ass face that you Photoshop on your thumbnails, you are the realest YouTuber I watch, and I appreciate the fuck out of that. Thank you, man. Means a lot to me, homie. You know, keep on keeping on. Medisand said, Shirtless Robbie, I have standards now. You can look back at my milkshake video and the truffle shuffle. Mr. Greaves asked, elevator or stairs? So, I hate elevators, but I'm still going to take the elevator. Hands down. Mr. Greaves also asked, are you friends with Ronald McDonald? It's probably why they made my Wendy's start closing at 11. Sad face. Mike Durkee asked, if you could make one major change to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, what would it be? I want to know where the fuck my red cards are. Also, where the fuck are my armor cards? One major change is I'd release the armor monsters and make them actually fucking good. That's all I'm waiting on. Master Rule 4 was fine. I didn't like the pendulum scales being separated anyway. I think they fixed a lot of problems that the game had inadvertently going on with it. But yeah. Maybe make the extra deck 20 cards. So I can just watch people cry even more when their opponent's taking an extra 5 minutes to decide which chain they're going down. Actually, no. Screw that. We're going to make 20 card side decks. I'm really 15 extra decks, fine. Give me 20 side deck cards, and I'll feel better about myself. Maybe even raising the deck count to 100 would be fun. I wonder what would happen if the deck count went to 100. I'm going to leave that one out there for you. Zoinik DC said he may as well do a Q&A. He never comments on videos. I read every one of those fucking comment sections. I will have you know that. I just often don't find the time to respond to everything. You guys will hear me make a lot of references to a lot of things that go on in my comment section. I'll try to get better about that for the most part. But, I don't know, I'm a little bit more old school with these things. As long as you guys know I'm listening, right? That's all that matters. Last Penna asks, theoretically, if we were to get an elemental Solidman, say in August, and Stratos was to come back to 1, do you think Heroes would become tier 1 and make a huge threat? So, here's the thing. I know everybody wants Heroes to come back. With the theoretical speed in the current format, the answer is no. Heroes will not make a splash in the TCG. Many people will try to play it as a stun deck. It's just, unfortunately, it's too slow. Solidman fixed a lot of the problems that they had with having to play Goblinberg. I get that. But the problem still inherently remains is Stratos is a good card. It makes these cute OTKs possible. But in the grand scheme of things, it's just not as good as people want it to be. And I know I'm going to get flamed for saying that, but I want Stratos back as much as the next person. I just don't think the impact it's going to make on the meta will be impactful, per se. It'll be more cute than anything. Flamboyant asked, what has been your favorite deck post-gadgets? There's actually 2 questions here. First answer, favorite deck post-gadgets, probably Zoo Draco. I enjoyed what diversity the deck had for Rogue and the extra changes it had going with it. It was a cool hybrid. Pure Draco was really fun. Spirals was also really fun. Sky Striker is phenomenal. I love that deck too. But for the most part, I definitely got to give it to Zoo Draco. That deck made me think which chains I wanted to go down, and I genuinely got my invite with it this season, so had a lot of fun with it, at least in that regard. And then he said, how do you stay motivated for Yu-Gi-Tuing? How do you come up with topics to discuss since not every day something new happens or gets announced in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? I'm a very spontaneous person. It's just kind of something I've had throughout my life, is a spontaneous idea comes into my head, act on it, talk about it. things like that. That side of my personality really drives me to do this. You know, also I've been doing this for so long, kind of take ideas from other YouTubers, regurgitate it to my own sense. People tend to really enjoy that. There's some days I wake up, I don't want to make a video, but you suck it the fuck up and you be an adult. My earlier life on this channel, I will tell you wholeheartedly that I was a lot more full of myself, and still am a little bit, but it's kind of something I've kind of come to terms with over the years. No matter what happens as each day goes by, pull your head out of your ass and you have to go to work. I don't know, there's always something interesting to talk about in this game, even if it's something small or if it's something great. Also, watching Zodiac have a bonfire in and on itself often gives me something to talk about. So, you know, you never know. There's always something. You gotta know where to look, I think. Trevor Misewitz, sorry if I destroyed your name, sir. What was the first Yu-Gi-Oh deck you ever bought or made? My starter deck, Yugi, Dark Magicians. As I said earlier when I answered this question, I still have my original Pot of Greed. It's in a collection binder that I have. Still fucking love it. It's doing great. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. LOB Beats was not my thing, though. James Kellogg asked, what was your favorite spell art, trap art, and monster art in the game? I love Familiar Possessed Area. I love the trap card that goes along with your spiritual art, Awe. The favorite spell? I don't actually think I have one. Come to think about it, maybe any. I don't know. I'd probably have to give it to something with the World Legacy archetype. The way that the World Legacy cards, like the entire archetype looks, it sucks that they suck so bad on a lot of their generic cards, but everything involving those cards looks fucking beautiful, and I love that about it. William Martin asked, is Yugioh no alive, or do we have to use Monster Reborn to bring him back? So, to my understanding, and what I've seen, Yugioh has been going through a lot of personal stuff on his Facebook, or not on Facebook, and life in general. And give the man some time. Everybody comes back. He's a lot more old school. Tries to keep his personal life and Yu-Gi-Tubing life separate from each other. I do in some aspects, but I respect the man. He's doing, as far as I know, he's doing A-okay. When he makes his return, if before this video, well, kudos, man. Glad to have you back. I love Yugioh, yes. Good guy. Javier Morales asked, what do you think about Bottomless Compulsory and Soul Drain and Altergeist? Also, what do you think about Soul Release against Brandish? First off, Bowls is a good card. It's not good right now. Soul Drain, there's nothing really in the format you really care about negating. I guess you have to go first with it too. And Bottomless, just, I guess you hit a Soul Day. But that's to that regard. As for Soul Release against Brandish, what are you really hitting? Ray, Diabolsis, some of their target cards? Like, it seems like there's better cards for the aspect in which you are approaching this. Javier Morales also asked, what are my top 3 favorite decks of all time? They don't have to be meta relevant. Just have to know some of the decks you've had the most fun with in the game. First off, Familiar Possessed Control was fucking fun. Basically, it was a stun deck. Anti-meta gadgets throughout time was a lot of fun. And Tears Zero Lightsworn was actually really fun. Dropping Christian on unsuspecting people with Shire was actually really fucking fun. Nathaniel Butler asked, why don't you make your own custom deck profiles to present to the players with such knowledge of the game? It's quite possible that your spin on things will catch on, especially with tech choices. So earlier I was explaining, my personality, I need to see something in order to test it. My Therio is spot on of other things. That's why week 1 at a regional, I'm usually asking my friends for what the fuck I should play, because if the meta's not established, I'm not really good. I am innovative in my own right, but I have to be spoon-fed certain information in order to make these particular choices. I usually gain my experience through other people's experience. I hear the stories that they have and mold it to my own. I appreciate the fact that a lot of people understand or think that I'm some innovator, but it's usually within the right of Theorio being applied constantly over, plus other people's input, Jesus. But for the most part, tech choices are good, but only after I've had enough experience testing in the meta can I make those rational card choices. As for doing more deck profiles, I mean, what do you guys want to see, more Sky Striker deck profiles? Because it's all I'm really playing at the moment. And I understand a few people, my mentality is if one person watches the video and got something out of it, it's fine, but I don't know, uploading the 45th Sky Striker deck profile doesn't necessarily seem good to me. Cameron Jones asked, do you currently go to school? No, I do not. If the game of Yugioh ever dies, I'm going to be crying myself to sleep at night because this is all I really know. So bear that in mind. The fat man does not have a backup plan. Shay Jones asked, Hey, I'm Cold. Do you think Trickster Sky Strikers should main Called by the Graves and Ghost Bells or the Solemn Brigade? So, burning yourself is hurtful. I mean, it's all I'm striking. A Kadena is pretty fucking good. Once again, the Solemns are something that you're going to have to see in game one. Or you're going to have to win the dice roll to go with. Maining Called by the Graves, what hand traps are you worried about besides Ash Blossom? Ghost Bells I like because it stops Goki, but the representation of Goki has gone down through the shitter, and we're now at a much higher point now where people are just going to be playing mirrors. So Solemn Grade might be better just in the aspect of the mirror, honestly. That's my 2 cents on that. Avril32 asked, since I've been subscribed for a while, I'm going to ask 2 questions. 1, will you ever see the return of the Orichalcos Challenge? Orichalcos Challenge is in the box in front of me. I was going to do something at some point with it, but I haven't got the chance to. And 2, will we ever see the return of vlogs, you and your friends traveling to events? If you make these, you need to use your old Doom Caliber Knight intro. I love that intro. Hope this ends up in your videos. If you do use my comment, just say Avery. Sorry. So, to answer your second question, Avery, ever since Konami implemented the policy that we couldn't record in the venue anymore, I just kind of stopped doing the vlogs. I loved them. They were one of the best things I enjoyed about this channel. Was blogging about our adventures. I would very much love to do that again, but those rules pretty much kind of ruined the experience for me. But I will be doing something else like the Orichalcos Challenge again at some point. Just kind of got to get through the year and figure out how I want to do it, because the archetype I wanted to design is going to take a while. And let's be real, designing something from scratch is very hard. Fish News asked, when will you be releasing your books publicly? We only have the concept art right now. I'm not quite sure where the story is. I need to really gather my inspiration. But don't worry, these stories will be based on real life events, experiences that I myself have gone through. But the art of the trick will probably be released maybe sometime in the year 2030. I'm not really quite sure, but don't worry. You will be able to get your hands on these very beautiful books at some point. Don't worry. Even if they're tokens. Alright. 15GS asked, how much do you weigh? The equivalent to 4 regular people weighing at about 110 pounds. Masked Duelist 13 asked, what are your favorite YouTubers besides yourself? I feel like this is going to turn into a roast fest here. Let me pull up my subscriber feed really quick so that you guys get the realest answers here. The first thing I can tell you is Silent Enigma, DP Yugioh. I watch his content. I actually really like his stuff. Asian Eyes White Dragon, I'm just sub 2 to be sub 2. Cyber Knight's pack openings, I'm sub 2 every once in a while. He might upload something. House of Champs John, me and him are in a committed living relationship, so I like his content every once in a while. Seamo's too rambunctious for me. I like Seamo's content, but I can't handle the excitement. I'm just too mellow of a person. Jobber uploads good content for what he is. Same thing with Simply Unlucky is fine. Asian Persuasion does really good content for the uploads. It's about everything I'm seeing in my newsfeed right now. Does Alpha Investment count as a channel? Because I love his shit. Same thing with DP Yugioh. DP Yugioh gives me the short and sweet very quickly. And I respect that about him. His realism is about as good. I also like Yu-Gi-Oh! Hack. They definitely give me some interesting stuff to see in my newsfeed. Trainer Neos V15 asked, where do you see the various Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime? Where do you see the various Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime and other anime? No one will stitch where you watch it. Well, actually, I have a Crunchyroll subscription. I pay for my anime. I'm one of those guys. Have you ever downloaded any Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime or any other anime? Yeah, probably. And then, how many of the 6 series have you watched? I have not watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero, contrary to popular belief. It's on my to-do list. 5Ds is my favorite, but Brains is quickly passing it in terms of story. Whatever the Zexal was my least favorite next to GX. GX Season 4 was the shit. Don't get me wrong, Season 1, 2, and 3 kind of ruined it for me, though. Original Yu-Gi-Oh! Was also the shit. Brains was okay. I don't really have any complaints about Brains, but it's still Brains. Or it's not Brains, Argavy. Yeah, I think so. Kind of confused myself there a little bit. Trainer Nova also asked, did you ever go to college? Yes, I did for 2 years. So what did you major in? I started in business, kind of flipped my shit around, ended up in business marketing, and now here I am. Fun shit. And if not, tell us why you didn't go, and how you do it now, and how do you do it now to live. Still live at home with mommy and daddy. I'm helping them pay their bills. Fun shit, actually. I like to make sure, my parents keep a roof over their head. Rudy Cortez asked, how many locals can you go without winning and call it a failure? About 5 years worth, actually. But if you can't afford it, then it's more forgivable, honestly. Just don't give up on yourself. Don't forsake yourself. Just, for the most part, just continue playtesting, gaining experience, and you'll feel a lot better about yourself. Peter on the Bass asked, what's the deck you've had the most fun with playing in your Yu-Gi-Oh! Career? Gadgets, because watching people scrimble in fear as 3900 appears on the board is absolutely fucking great. And then Jordan Bishop asked, will and should Despots get new support? What would be good for the deck? I hate fucking Despots, man. I played against this deck at a regional, and I was so fucking dumbfounded by what was going on to me that I couldn't contain myself. I'm gonna be honest with you. I fucking hate that deck. They don't deserve new support. They will get new support at some point, I feel. But the deck is an OTK based deck, and I think because of it being an OTK deck, unfortunately, what more support can you really give to them besides being more consistent? A draw card, I think they've already got a Stratos. I guess shuffle 2 Despots back in your deck, draw 3 cards, or you've agreed for them. I think that would be some great support. But outside of that, I don't think the deck really needs more support. It could use it, but it's just that. So that's all I have for video 4. Remember, we will eventually be releasing these books. I'm thinking 2030 is going to be about the time of year, and much like my ego, just remember, I worship this. This is me. This is everything. Just remember, there's one more Q&A video to go. So, sit back, enjoy, and what a fucking ride this has been this week. Somebody get me to some more subscribers, please. 70,000 would be great. Alright, onwards and upwards. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel, and join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.